We're all over breaking news for you this morning. Shots fired in a neighborhood. A man is killed, and Metro Police were the ones who pulled the trigger.
This happened just a few hours ago, and it's been a very active scene all morning long. We've got our whole team covering this one for us. Action News reporter Yasmin Hassan is out at a park nearby where it all started. But first, let's go to Parker Collins near TWAIN and Maryland Parkway. Parker, what's the latest?
Well, the investigation is happening right now. Traffic is picking up on Maryland Parkway, but Katie, right over here where you see these flashing lights on the tape, is eerily quiet. You see no traffic over there because it is cordoned off at this point. You cannot go over there because of this investigation. Dana, your inside source is telling us this started as a traffic stop. Officers opened fire on a person. We believe that happened because of your inside source. Witnesses are telling us, though, before they heard those gunshots, they actually saw officers running after somebody. And before they heard the gunshots, they saw a taser gun being pulled out and used on this person. We don't know why this happened, but for a while after this scene was set up and a helicopter was searching for something overhead. Now, we have not confirmed what we have gotten from Dana's inside source yet from police here on the scene. They're telling us in just minutes they will be speaking with us. When we have that, we will let you know. Reporting live, Parker Collins, Channel 13 Action News.
Okay, thanks, Parker. Our team coverage continues with Action News reporter Yasmin Hassan.
She is at the Mulaski Family Park. It's right next to the apartments where police say this whole thing started. Yasmin, what can you see?
Well, from here we can see multiple officers and patrol cars. Take a look. Let me show you a different angle. Now you're taking a look at the street right next to the apartments where witnesses say all of this happened. We can see multiple officers out in the street talking to witnesses, talking to people in the area. And earlier this morning, we were at Sunrise Hospital, and that's where we are hearing the suspect was taken. I saw multiple officers, multiple patrol cars going in and out of the emergency room. But from there, I spoke to one officer who says, we are going to be getting our updates from this location, so that's why we moved, and that's something we see a lot in these situations when there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. They want to make sure that all the information is coming from one location. So we are waiting to hear from witnesses, and we will bring you more updates and more details as soon as we can. Reporting live, Yasmin Hassan, Channel 13 Action News.
All right, Yasmin, thank you. And let's get straight to some other breaking news that we're following here at the Breaking News Center. This is Chopper 13, first on the scene there of a building fire that we've been showing you throughout the morning, right on the corner of Bruce and Owens there. It's a home that firefighters have gone in and out of. There are less vehicles there than before. We had seen a lot of smoke earlier this morning, but you can see the sky there looks clear. It seems that they have the situation there under control. We don't know yet if there were any people inside that home this morning when this fire erupted. We are trying to get some information for you from the fire department, but still a heavy firefighter presence there as they wrap up what they're doing, their work there at that home. And as soon as we get some more details, I will let you know from the Breaking News Center. That's the latest here. Beth, back to you.
All right, Jessica, thank you. Now let's switch gears and talk a little weather, shall we? Because things are about to change.
That's right. Let's toss it right over to Greg Bennett. It's a huge deal because we've got a lot of people that will travel this week.
The funny thing is we've been actually getting information into the newsroom as of yesterday morning that we're seeing a major influx of people coming into the Las Vegas Valley for Thanksgiving, more so than we normally see during this time of the year. So something we've got to watch out for because weather-wise, we're talking some gusty conditions. 47 degrees right now to Las Vegas, though. Some cloud cover still out there with a west-southwest wind at 3 miles per hour. But by 1 o'clock this afternoon, folks, wind warning up for the Spring Mountain Range. Wind advisories just to the north and west of Las Vegas. And we'll be experiencing some gusty conditions today. But how gusty are we talking? Well, that answer is coming up. Of course, your Thanksgiving Day forecast as well in your next weather outlook. For now, Micah, to you.
Greg, thanks. Live Drive still on the scene of a 3-car crash that has southbound Paradise shut down at Flamingo. Northbound just reopened. That just happened moments ago. So we'll keep on checking on this until this one's all cleared. So if you want to use your alternates, use Koval or Swinson and reconnect from Paradise at Harmon to head off to the airport. Now, elsewhere across the valley, 2 accidents. 95 south from the Rainbow on-ramp, both off to the shoulder traffic moving by. Still seeing some Spaghetti Bowl traffic, delay of a couple minutes on I-15 south. That building fire has road restrictions on Owens at Bruce, so use Washington down here as your alternate. I, of course, put these on my Twitter page as they happen at Micah Traffic Guy. And elsewhere across the valley where Parker Collins was, that road is still closed. Katie, between Maryland Parkway and Cambridge. Stick to Twain or even Flamingo to avoid it. It's an active morning. Buckle up and let's make it a safe drive to work and school. Ladies?
Micah, thank you. I want to catch everyone up on international breaking news that we're following. A major story. A Russian warplane shot down earlier this morning, and the Russian president really mad about this situation. He's been speaking out throughout the morning, and there are increased tensions between Russia and Turkey right now because Turkish officials say that the plane was violating airspace, ignored repeated warnings. Russia, though, insists that was not the case. They say they were in Syria, not in Turkish skies. U.S. officials have come out this morning, said they have no involvement whatsoever, that our U.S. troops have nothing to do with it. NATO will be holding an emergency meeting sometime this morning. I'm still tracking the story for you. As soon as I get any more details on exactly what's happening, I'll pass them along. Beth, back to you.
All right, Jess. Meantime, the FBI and Homeland Security are issuing a worldwide travel alert in the wake of those terror attacks overseas. The State Department says the move comes after their most recent intel shows that ISIS and other terror groups are continually planning attacks in multiple regions. They believe they're using conventional and non-conventional weapons. And it's not just the U.S. ramping up security. The Belgian Prime Minister just extended the terror alert there for another week. The capital city, Brussels, is on lockdown for the fourth day as authorities continue their manhunt for the 8th Paris attacker. Meanwhile, the French president is heading to the White House today to meet with President Obama. The world leaders are expected to discuss how to ramp up the fight against ISIS.
And new overnight, here at home, a driver survives a nasty rollover crash on 95. NHP says that the car was actually heading down the highway at Decatur when they lost control of the car, spun off the road, rolled at least 2 times. Well, troopers say that they suspect the person was drunk. The driver was rushed to UMC, but they're expected to be okay, and no word yet if they're going to face any charges.
Shots fired at an apartment complex. A man is found dead, and the person who pulled the trigger is now on the run. Police say it started around 7 when 2 men got into a fight near the entrance of the apartments near Lake Mead and Jones. Then witnesses say they heard 6 gunshots fired. Investigators do believe the suspect in this case knew the victim. If you have any information about the shooting, though, please call officers.
An emotional night out at Mojave High School, and you can see the dozens of crying teens gathered to remember their friend shot and killed just feet away from the campus. The mother of 16-year-old Taylor Brantley spoke to the huge crowds, telling them she hopes that this tragedy will teach the kids to stop the senseless violence and fighting. Police say that there were about 40 to 50 people there Friday night when Brantley was accidentally shot. They do not have a suspect yet, but the teen's mom knows that someone out there knows who opened fire.
If there is somebody out there, which there is, and they know exactly what happened, I wish they would come forth because nobody should go through this.
Brantley's mom also told the students that she does not want to see any of them taking things into their own hands and let police handle it.
A Valley man says an RTC bus driver may have caused him permanent nerve damage when the bus sped away as the man was still getting off.
Now he's reaching out to us for help, hoping to get some answers. When you ask, we investigate.
And Chopper 13 still monitoring this house fire at Bruce and Owens. No smoke anymore. It is wrapping up as the sun comes up. We are working on getting you more details, and it's actually right next to Rancho High School if you're familiar with that area, so stay with us.
And if you're heading off to the airport this early morning, your southbound lanes on Paradise completely shut down at Flamingo. We'll guide you past and give you your alternates coming up in just a few minutes.
The state is rolling out new guidelines for cryotherapy treatments in the wake of a spa employee's tragic death, but her family says the new rules are not enough. There are now age, height, and health guidelines for anyone going into a cryo chamber, but the family of Chelsea Ake says these changes don't address the design defects of those chambers. Ake died last month from a lack of oxygen while she was in a cryo chamber.
Well, it looks like a self-proclaimed healer, Rick Van Thiel, could soon be facing federal charges. A state prosecutor dropped the gun charges against him, so federal prosecutors could take over the case. Van Thiel's trial is scheduled to start in less than a month. Authorities say he could face dozens of charges for his unlicensed medical clinic.
Breaking right now, an officer-involved shooting leaves one person dead.
Action News is first on the scene with team coverage on what happened, how the suspect, how this all started, coming up next.
Welcome back to Good Morning Las Vegas. A live look right now at the French president arriving here in the United States. His plane just touched down and he is in that black SUV all the way on the right there, right next to that further rightmost pillar. There's a French flag on top of his vehicle, and you see there the airway space and the plane that he just came down on. The French President Francois Hollande meeting with our President Barack Obama today. It's in the wake of those Paris terrorist attacks that happened on Friday the 13th. We just lost the picture there, but we're going to keep monitoring his visit, of course, to our nation's capital, and he is expected to meet with the Russian president tomorrow. So a very quick trip. That's the latest here. Back to you in studio.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much. It is now 6:15 in the morning. Chopper 13 showing us this amazing view over the mountains as sunrise starts to happen. Gorgeous stuff. I love it. It's fantastic. Some cloud cover out there, but looks are deceiving because it is chilly. Let's go straight to our temperatures and show you what we're talking about when it comes to your lows this morning. 47 degrees right now to Las Vegas. It is now 43 Henderson, 52 Boulder City, 55 around Pahrump, and 45 degrees around Kyle Canyon. Still a cool start to where you do need those sweatshirts for your morning commute. But as we make it into the afternoon, maybe go back to those t-shirts, perhaps a long sleeve shirt, because we are going to be dealing with something a little extra out there than normal. It is this. We're starting off with a wind warning up around the Spring Mountain Range and the Red Rock area. This does include the Red Rock Loop as well around the Blue Diamond region. And then a wind advisory up towards the north of us, Indian Springs, the 95, Pahrump, Sandy Valley, all under this particular advisory. Starting 1 o'clock this afternoon till 7 a.m. into your Wednesday morning. We're talking gusts on the mountain over 50 miles per hour. And with this wind advisory to the north and towards the west of us around Pahrump, you're looking at gusts between about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So we've got strong winds out there. What about Las Vegas? Well, it's going to be breezy, and we'll have our own gusts that we have to worry about too. And when I mean breeze, I mean today anywhere between about 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, really starting to kick up starting around lunchtime. Upper 60s looking quite nice for us. And it'll actually be the warmest part of your 7-day forecast, but we're going to have to combat it with these winds. Strongest winds really start to roll on in for your Wednesday early morning, and we've got that at about a 25 mile per hour sustained wind. But these winds do continue throughout your Wednesday, start to subside finally moving on into your Thursday late morning, early afternoon. But for the morning on your Thanksgiving, we're talking breezy conditions, and with temperatures looking to drop because of this cold front, it's going to feel a whole lot colder than it actually is outdoors. What am I talking about when I say that? Well, let's start off with your highs today. Upper 60s, low 70s, very common this afternoon. Moving on into the 7-day forecast tomorrow, upper 50s. Your Thanksgiving, low 50s. So it's going to feel like we're into those low 40s because of the breezy conditions. Be ready for it. And those low 50s and mid 50s continue right on into the weekend. At your forecast, Micah, to you.
So you're telling me I need to eat more so I gain a little bit more weight to keep warmer.
You need the extra fat to stay warm, my friend.
Thank you, Greg. Our live drive, if we can go to that first, I want to give you an update because Paradise completely reopened right at Flamingo. So if you're going to the airport this morning, you don't have any restrictions on Paradise at this stretch anymore. We have a lot of work on Flamingo though, so keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and go back to your maps. Coming up the 95 north, or excuse me, southbound, right from the on-ramp from Rainbow, your right shoulder is still blocked from 2 earlier accidents, but traffic is moving by it. We still have that building fire investigation on Owens, just east of Bruce. Chopper 13 was first over the scene on that one. That's right next to Rancho High School, so use Washington as your alternate means of travel. That's a look at your drive. Ladies, back over to you.
Thanks, Micah. Well, a man is fighting for his life after being hit by a car. Now this morning, his wife is speaking out because she says she was almost hit too. Colleen Wilson says that she and her husband were getting ready to cross Cheyenne near Civic Center, and she says he thought that they were clear, but suddenly he was hit.
I just hope and pray God and have mercy on this soul. Because, I mean, nobody should be going that fast.
Well, the speed limit on that stretch is 40 miles per hour. Police have not said if the driver was speeding, but they did stay at the scene and are cooperating with that investigation.
A street sign has some Valley drivers scratching their heads, and you're about to see exactly why. Take a look. Figure out what's wrong. A viewer alerted us to this road sign near Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard. Painted on the ground is a right turn arrow, and then you see the sign that says, oh, by the way, don't turn right. Which is it? Well, we called the city, and they're going to send a crew out to sort it all out and get it fixed. We don't know whether the right turn is allowed or not. The city will sort it out.
She's over here, but you're good.
And we'll let you know when it changes.
All right, breaking news, an update on that house fire that we've been talking about all morning long near TWAIN and Owens. We had shown you some live images earlier. We just got an update. Unfortunately, 2 people have been taken to the hospital with burns, and that is according to the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue team on Twitter. I'm going to try to get some more details on that, exactly who was transported, but that is the latest from the Breaking News Center. Dana and Beth, back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. Holiday deal hunters are counting down until both Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but they're not alone. Up next, stores are announcing new, deeper discounts to get you online.
And Chopper 13 is circling the area where we've learned police officers opened fire, killing a man. Action News reporters Yasmin Hassan and Parker Collins on the ground gathering new details. We're going to have an update from them in minutes. A man turns to Action News after he says he was really hurt while riding the bus and he wants that driver fired. Steve Tominski says 2 weeks ago he got up to get off the bus when all of a sudden the driver started going again, sending him flying.
On the floor of the bus?
On the floor of the bus, completely on my back. There was 3 people in the bus. One of the other passengers, a woman right opposite of me, told the bus driver to stop. Was yelling to stop the bus.
Tominski says he's had to go to the physical therapist multiple times, but his insurance doesn't want to pay until the investigation into the driver is finished. What's also making him mad is that the bus driver is still on the road. We reached out to the RTC to ask why the man hadn't been suspended, but they said they couldn't comment on the incident because they're still investigating. Tominski says he may get a lawyer if he doesn't get answers. We'll keep checking back with him.
All right, 6:24 is the time, and we've got clouds building in. Wind as well will be picking up by the lunchtime hour. The plus side to all of this is that we're looking at the upper 60s and low 70s today, the warmest day in the forecast. But it's a cold front that is moving on through. Now, the chance for rain is starting to subside for the Las Vegas Valley Wednesday late night and a Thursday, but those winds stick around. And of course, the drop in temperatures. Lighter winds for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but low to mid 50s. That's your forecast for now. Micah, to you.
Greg, thanks. Let's jump aboard I-15. Take a look at what your drive looks like. If you're coming in from the south side of the valley, let's go ahead and get to it right over at St. Rose and I-15. If you're jumping on board there, you're looking at about a 6-minute commute all the way up towards the 215 connector. So keep that in mind. Elsewhere across the valley, if you're coming in from North Las Vegas, you're looking about a 3-minute drive if you're jumping on board the 95 going all the way south towards the 95. That's a look at your drive for now. Ladies, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Micah. A major retailer is slashing prices for everything on its website for Cyber Monday. Here's ABC's Rena Ninan and Candace Gibson with more.
Hey there, in today's Tech Bites, retailers upping the ante on Cyber Monday sales.
Target will discount almost everything on its website by 15%, and Walmart's Cyber Monday deals will start Sunday night. Almost 80% of holiday shoppers plan to make purchases that day.
Google hoping to bring Star Trek to life. The tech giant working on a communicator badge, kind of like the one worn by Captain Kirk.
Kind of interesting. The lapel pin would allow users to get answers to a variety of questions at just a push of a button.
And there's now nothing that cannot be delivered if you order it on your smartphone.
Okay, so the app, Purple, will send someone to fill up your gas tank. All you have to do is make sure the fuel door is open.
So far, Purple is only operating in Southern California.
All right, what is next? We'll see.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day, everybody.
6:26 now. Coming up, the latest on that breaking news we're following for you all morning long.
Officers open fire and a man is dead. We've got our whole team tracking this.
A lot of police activity out here, and it's been like this for hours. An officer, at least one, involved in the shooting. Coming up in just minutes, you're going to hear from a witness I spoke with next.
When you've got a house full of guests on the way and a cold with sinus pressure, you need fast relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus Severe Sinus Congestion and Cough Liquid Gels rush relief to your tough symptoms to put you back in control. Alka-Seltzer Plus Sinus.
Good morning. There are 16 fresh-picked oranges squeezed into each bottle of Tropicana Pure Premium, and absolutely no space for added sugar, water, or preservatives. Tropicana. We put the good in morning.
Eucerin Intensive Repair doesn't just moisturize dry skin, it repairs it with a unique triple-action formula that gently exfoliates, hydrates, and fortifies skin, leaving it looking healthy and radiant with Intensive Repair from Eucerin.
Fact. You won't find the brand pharmacists recommend most for cold and flu relief at the shelf. Advil Cold and Sinus is only behind the pharmacy counter. Ask your pharmacist for fast, powerful Advil Cold and Sinus. Relief doesn't get any better than this.
Good morning, Las Vegas. We are tracking breaking news for you this morning, and a lot of it. Metro Police opened fire on a man, and now he is dead. Our crews were first on the scene just after it happened near TWAIN and Maryland Parkway.
Parker Collins is there. He's been there for hours. And Parker, you've been in contact with police there. What's the latest?
That's true, and I've seen a lot of police activity for hours out here. Take a look. Katy is eerily quiet right now, but you see a lot of police here. There is actually a car. I don't know if you can make it out. There's a car blocking it now, but there's been a car here with a black hood ever since I got here. I'm thinking that's part of the crime scene because I've seen officers swarming that, looking inside it, looking for details. Dana, your inside source is telling us 3 officers fired at somebody after a traffic stop. We are learning, I've learned from witnesses, though, there was some sort of chase. Officers were running after this person, and the witnesses I spoke with actually saw a taser gun being pulled on this person that was shot at. Again, police have not confirmed that to us. Police here on scene have not confirmed that, but that is from witnesses and from Dana's inside source.
It was pretty obvious that he was, they wanted him pretty bad for whatever reason.
We are waiting to hear from an officer on scene to get some of these details confirmed. We're told it could be any minute now. Reporting live, Parker Collins, Channel 13 Action News.
All right, Parker, thank you. Give us a wave when those officers walk over to talk to you. We'll go back to you immediately. Our team coverage continues this morning with Action News reporter Yasmin Hassan.
Yeah, she's at Mulaski Family Park. It's right by the apartments where police say this whole thing started. Yasmin, I know you just spoke with a witness.
That's right. I did just speak to a witness who says pretty much the story that Parker is telling us. We are actually just a few feet away from where all of this happened, and you can see there are still multiple officers and investigators out here on Chopper 13, first over the scene, giving you another perspective of just how big this investigation is right now. And they do have the streets surrounding French Oak Apartments blocked off, but we were able to bring you closer by cutting through a park. And while we were out here, we did talk to a woman who says very similar story that we are hearing all over this morning. She says she heard a lot of commotion right around 1:30. She saw officers chasing a man after he jumped out of a car. He was trying to jump over a fence, and that's when he was tased. And right after that, she says she heard multiple shots being fired. Now, we are waiting to hear from officers like Parker said, but we are working to talk to more witnesses, and we'll bring you that information as soon as it becomes available. Reporting live, Yasmin Hassan, Channel 13 Action News.
All right, Yasmin, thank you. Helpful to have both reporters talking to different witnesses, and we're really getting a clearer picture of what happened.
Exactly, and of course we'll keep you posted, like Beth had said, about Parker being there with the press. They're going to hold a press conference soon, and then we'll get all the details as soon as we can. Let's check in with Greg Bennett. Today's an important day because we're going to see some changes as we head into Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this is one of the big days that we're going to see a lot of people heading out onto the airplanes, heading out on the roadways, trying to get where they need to go for their Thanksgiving holiday. Well, unfortunately, today we're going to start that wind up. 47 degrees right now in Las Vegas, 57 Pahrump, 43 in Henderson, and about 52 to Boulder City. Starting you off on the chilly side, but today's actually going to be the warmest day in the forecast. It's kind of just before the candle really goes out. It burns the brightest before we start to see those major changes. Well, wind warning is going to be up starting around 1 o'clock this afternoon for the Spring Mountain Range, Red Rock area. Wind advisory to the north around Indian Springs, even Pahrump under this same time frame. And we're dealing with cloud cover that's out there right now. That wind warning actually extends right on into the Red Rock Loop area close to Blue Diamond. So take that into consideration. Central Las Vegas, breezy starting lunchtime right on into the overnight. But check out these temperatures. Is 69 the high today? That answer coming up in your next weather forecast, and along with your Thanksgiving outlook, it's coming up in just a bit. Micah, to you.
Greg, thanks. More people hitting the roadways at this time. Let's go ahead and check on your drive at I-15 South. Starting to see that slow and go traffic after you merge on from the 95. It's leading to about an 8-9 minute commute all the way towards the Southern Beltway, and no delays just yet from Henderson or up in the northwest. Now the rest of your valley, let's go ahead and check on your drive because we still have this investigation from an earlier house fire. It's blocking lanes on Owens just east of Bruce. Use Washington as your alternate. That's important to remember because Rancho High School is right there. Our live drive is headed to the scene now, and once we're there, we'll take you there. Jessica, back over to you.
All right, Micah, thank you. And breaking news that we've been following all morning long, and I have more information about that house fire that we've been telling you about. Take a look here on your screens. We now know 2 people are injured. They are hospitalized right now with burns, according to fire officials. This one happening near Owens and Bruce within just the past hour. And if you're familiar with that area, it's right actually across the street from Rancho High School. You can see the school from this home. And Chopper 13 taking these images for us just a few moments ago. A lot of heavy firefighter response there as they were trying to rescue these people inside, and then obviously responding to that house fire. We only saw smoke when we got to the home. They got it under control pretty quickly. That's the latest here at the Breaking News Center. Back to you in studio.
All right, thanks so much. Well, community sounds the alarm about their dogs being poisoned, and now they say they're being threatened for talking to police about it. Well, Judy Myers in Pahrump tells us that she thinks she knows who is leaving all that strange meat in people's yards, poisoning the animals. So she reported the suspect to the police, but now she says her and her family are afraid for their safety.
I've been threatened. My granddaughter and her boyfriend were threatened. If we didn't stop, they were going to break our windows out.
Well, we spoke with the community HOA, who says that they will be posting a warning about the suspicious meat on the bulletin board, but she says everything else is for the police to take care of.
What you did happen, there were people that were cheering in the other side of New Jersey where you have large Arab populations. They were cheering as the World Trade Center came down.
All right, once again, Donald Trump is all the talk on the campaign trail. His fellow presidential candidates are now weighing in on his controversial comments about Muslims in New Jersey on September 11th.
Again, it's not true, and there's plenty of fact checks to prove that it isn't.
I don't recall seeing it.
I don't know where Mr. Trump gets his evidence.
Yeah, so Trump saying Muslims were cheering when the Twin Towers collapsed. Most of the candidates firmly calling out Trump for lying, but there's one candidate backing him up.
Did you see that happening, though, on 9/11?
I saw the film of it, yeah.
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
Carson later apologized for the comments he made while speaking here in Pahrump. He said the video he saw turned out to be from the Middle East and not from New Jersey.
Well, meanwhile, the Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton says Trump's comments are just fear tactics. While speaking in Reno last night, she focused her speech on her plan to take on ISIS. The former Secretary of State told the packed crowd that America has to lead the effort in fighting the terrorist group, but she does not want boots on the ground.
We will not be putting American combat troops on the ground in Syria and Iraq to accomplish the mission.
Well, Clinton says her strategy is to fight ISIS from the air and especially online, where the terror group is getting stronger in their recruiting propaganda.
And we are still following international breaking news. A Russian warplane shot down. It's a huge story. I want to show you these new images just coming in, showing the flight path the warplane was on. And if you're just joining us, you should know a Russian warplane was shot down earlier this morning in the country of Turkey. Turkish officials say it was violating airspace and ignored repeated warnings, but Russia insisting that was not the case. They were in Syria, not in Turkish skies. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened this morning that it could destroy Russian-Turkey relations. NATO will be holding an emergency meeting sometime today on all of this. It's causing turmoil. That's the latest here at the Breaking News Center. Beth and Dana, back to you.
All right, Jessica, thank you. It is 6:37. On everyone's minds right now is what to buy their loved ones for the holidays. Well, we're going to make it a little easier for you by telling you some things not to buy.
Well, this year's list of most dangerous toys has just been released, and we're going to tell you which seemingly innocent gifts could actually be hazardous to your child's health.
I tell you, got to watch out for that wind making it into the afternoon this afternoon, and it increases overnight right on into your Wednesday, all associated with that cold front. What can we expect? That answer coming up in just a bit.
First, it was Chopper 13, now live drive at the scene of that house fire on Owens near Bruce. Roadways back open, though, both eastbound and westbound.
Good morning. Coming up next here on Good Morning America, breaking overnight, a shooting in Minneapolis near a Black Lives Matter protest. At least 5 people have been injured as authorities now hunt for those responsible. We'll have the details all next on GMA.
time, 6:41 on your Tuesday morning. Let's take a look at your drive. 4 different views from around the valley, including our live drive. Chopper 13 picking up a Southwest flight saying adios, Las Vegas. Let's go to live drive because we still have restrictions a little bit. These are on your westbound lanes of Owens as you approach Bruce, but eastbound you're completely fine. Earlier, this road was completely shut down from a house fire. That investigation is still underway. You can always take Washington if you want to avoid it. Let's go ahead and go to the Spaghetti Bowl. That's where you're seeing extra traffic at this time. And as we move to your maps, let's take a look at what those travel times look at right now for that southbound commute. You're looking at about a 9-10 minute commute all the way south towards the 215. Northbound, you're completely fine. My eyes are on the roadways. When an accident happens, I will take you there. Greg, over to you.
All right, Micah, thank you so much. You know, we continue to monitor the weather for today, and I have got the latest when it comes to your flight delays for the entire country. It's coming up in this weather forecast. So by all means, come to this couch. Watch this forecast for you because we've got it all across the country. I want to start you off with what's going on Desert Doppler radar, and we do have the cloud cover moving on in. Notice this gold indicated off around the Spring Mountain range. This coloration is a wind warning starting 1 o'clock this afternoon. We do have a wind advisory, this tan color around Pahrump, Indian Springs. That's going to start at the same time, both of which will continue until about 7 o'clock in the morning for your Wednesday because gusts within these areas anywhere between 40 miles per hour all the way up to 60 plus as you go higher in elevation. Here in the Las Vegas Valley, we expect gusts anywhere between about 35 to 40 miles per hour with sustained winds between 10 to 25 miles per hour through this afternoon, right on into your Wednesday. So be ready for some windy conditions. 45 degrees right now, mainly clear skies, west winds at around 6 miles per hour, looking solid now, though I think you still need those sweatshirts as we go through the day. It's actually going to be the warmest day in the 7-day forecast. Check this out. You're going to have to go back to the t-shirts even with the breezy conditions that we do anticipate. By the lunchtime hour, the upper 60s, an 11-mile-per-hour wind, but by 3 p.m. picking up those kids from school, we're going to feature 69 degrees. I'm going to call that the high for central Las Vegas, but local areas around town should get up into the 70s this afternoon. It's looking quite nice when it comes to those temperatures, but the winds, those are going to be picking up. Here we go, folks. We're starting off with your airport delays, and it looks like San Francisco is getting hard with around a 32-minute delay thanks to that front that we're going to be dealing with within the next 24 hours or so. Off around Seattle, though they're seeing the snowfall from the low pressure system, we're not seeing much delays out there for your morning. Even getting into the central parts of the country all the way up through Chicago, looking good, clean and clear for them for those delays. I don't see any so far. And then getting into the southeast, moving up to the New England area, we're looking pretty good with those flights as well. So if you do have flights anywhere, really from Las Vegas all the way to the east side of the country, you're looking good. San Francisco, on the other end, that's going to be a different story today. All right, some cold front action happening for us, and it's going to continue as we progress into the next 24-48 hours. Chances for rain, they have dwindled, which is some good news for us. We don't have to worry about the wet weather here in Las Vegas, but moving into the high elevations, the snow chances have actually increased for 7,000 feet and above starting Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So it'll actually be pretty good for the Mount Charleston area, getting up around the resort as well, the ski resort. So a plus for the weekend if you want to head up there. All right, here it is. Highs for today, upper 60s, low 70s, very common for us. And as we move to the 7-day forecast, it's great that we'll get rid of the winds as we move on into your Thursday afternoon, but drop in temperatures to the low 50s. That'll be your highs, and we continue that clear into the weekend. That is your forecast. Dana, to you.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. If you're getting ready to fly for Thanksgiving, like Greg mentioned, you're going to need to give yourself even more time than usual. Not only is there going to be a record number of flyers, but it's going to take you much longer to get through even security.
TSA has to be a lot more thorough now because of all these concerns. It's pretty simple mathematics. In the end, it's going to take more time to screen each person, and that is going to add up to longer lines.
While you should expect random checks and hand swabs to test for explosive residue, there could even be extra checks at the gate. Officials at McCarran recommend getting there a full 2 hours before you take off.
We're still several days away from Black Friday, but that's not stopping 5 brave shoppers from lining up already. Take a look at the line building outside the Best Buy near the 215 in North Decatur. People are camping out, hoping to score this year's hottest items at a fraction of the price. One woman even got emotional when she talked to our crews about why she's waiting in line so early.
We paid for our kids' college. You know, we don't have a lot of money, and we want to make sure that they wouldn't be in debt when they graduate, so we paid for their college and did a lot of stuff screaming. And I've had the same Apple iPad for 9 years.
That's what good mamas do. The Best Buy near the 215 in North Decatur will open up Thursday at 5 p.m. and will stay open until 1 a.m. on Friday. Then it will close for a few hours and open back up at 8 o'clock. Hope she scores her new iPad. Speaking of holiday shopping, think of it as a list of things you don't want to buy this year, the most dangerous toys. Dinosaur claws, inspired by the new Jurassic Park, are one of the most hazardous items for your kids. It looks like a lot of fun, but the experts say the problem is the packaging doesn't have any warnings about the potential for eye and facial injuries.
A product like that shouldn't be out there for use by children. The hazards are too significant as the manufacturer recognizes itself on the package insert.
Other dangerous toys include the kick flipper, a foam dart gun, a quick folding trampoline, the pull-along zebra, and a stealth sword. We'll put the full list for you on our website, KTNV.com.
All right, let's get straight to some breaking news right now that we're monitoring from Chopper 13. First on scene there of a rollover accident. This is near Desert Inn near Rainbow, and a very nasty accident. And what I've been watching here in the newsroom is that fire officials there on scene, they've taken out a stretcher. I believe they're putting on someone onto that stretcher right now. That's the live image that you're seeing here on your screen. They've been looking there at the front of the car throughout the morning. Earlier we saw smoke. You see what appears to be a man, I believe, going into that ambulance now. I've also seen someone sitting on the curb there, and if you look closely, you can actually see a shopping cart that's in the middle of the roadway. Now, from what I can see, 2 cars involved with this. Looks like that smaller passenger car just went into the corner there, and then you see that person being taken out of that red truck completely on its side right now. So again, this is Desert Inn right near Rainbow. You want to be careful in that area, obviously, which is what Micah would tell us. And but again, it looks like they have the situation there under control. Obviously someone injured though. I'll try to get more updates for you throughout the morning, but that's the latest from the Breaking News Center and Chopper 13. Back to you in studio.
Yeah, that's a nasty one. We hope they're okay. Thank you, Jess. In honor of the very close release of the new Star Wars movie, ABC's Jimmy Kimmel decided to test the knowledge of actors from the new movie against a Star Wars superfan.
Yeah, and let's just say it wasn't a close match. It's now trending this morning. Listen in.
In what detention block was one Princess Leia being held?
I was unconscious for that part, so you guys take over.
I wasn't born.
A23.
Wait a
Any
minute.
other excuses?
Wait.
What detention block?
51.
Wait, I answered.
What?
Oh, yeah, it was A23.
Oh yeah, it's A23, but it was. That is correct.
Well, as you can see, this pint-sized superfan schooled the cast members. Guess what the final score was? It was 60-0. Wow.
Well, it is down to the final 3 on Dancing with the Stars, and tonight we'll find out who is taking home the Mirror Ball Championship. The final 3 contestants are Nick Carter, Alex Garlatos, and Bindi Irwin. Singer Carlos Penavega was eliminated despite earning perfect scores. Our own Megan Tellis was there to talk to him about his experience.
It's super unique because the show puts each person in these scenarios where they have to just come out of their comfort zone.
Again, we'll find out who's the new season 21 champion during the grand finale tonight. It all starts right here on Channel 13 at 9.
For more stories trending today, just head to our website and click Now Trending.
Time now is 6:50 when Good Morning Las Vegas returns in just 2 minutes. A final check. All right, Parker's live with police. Let's go out to our breaking news.
Good morning. I'm here this morning to talk to you about an officer-involved shooting that we had. At about 2 o'clock this morning, a uniformed patrol officer who was working in the area of 1750 East Karen spotted a white Mitsubishi vehicle which was occupied one time. That officer conducted a DMV records check. The return on that check did not match the vehicle. Consequently, the patrol officer attempted to conduct a car stop. The vehicle fled from the officer. Our officer did not pursue. That vehicle was spotted a short time later by another patrol officer in the area of Maryland Parkway and TWAIN. At some point, the occupant of that vehicle fled and ran into the French Oaks apartment complex, which is up the street at Katy and Cambridge. Our officers arrived in the apartment complex. They came across a security officer along with a white male. The security officer was escorting the male off the property. Our officers asked to speak with the white male. The white male did not comply. He didn't want to talk to the officers. He kept backing away, and he eventually fled. Our officers contacted the subject again, issued commands for him to comply. The subject had his hands behind his back, refused to show his hands. One of our officers used his taser. The taser was not effective. Simultaneously, the subject reached for a firearm. Our officers saw this. 3 of our officers shot at the subject, striking him. That subject was later taken to a local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. In examining the crime scene, a firearm is located in the area where the subject was at. As you know, this is an ongoing investigation. The identity of the subject will be released by the coroner's office at a later time. And within the next few days or so, Under Sheriff McMahill or someone from command staff will be providing you a briefing with more details. Thank you.
How long from the time when they
Good News Day morning to you, Las Vegas. That cold front bringing the changes to the Las Vegas Valley starting today with increasing the cloud content and, of course, increasing our winds. Temperatures really are not affected by this, at least for the time being. Upper 60s right now and potentially even some low 70s in local areas. But as we move through the next couple of days here, we'll be seeing a major drop in these temperatures. Chances for rain have weakened for us here, but the snowfall chances to the higher elevations has increased. Cold front moving on into the Las Vegas Valley today. We won't be affected by our temperatures, but you can tell by our winds will be definitely increasing those along with the cloud content. Big question is, what about the chance for rain? That's coming up in just a bit.
Let's get right to the very latest on that breaking news. Our whole team has been tracking for you all morning long. Lots of gunfire just hours ago in a neighborhood near Maryland Parkway in TWAIN.
Parker Collins has been live there all morning long. And Parker, I know you just listened to what police were saying. Give us the very latest.
Well, just minutes ago, I spoke with a police captain. He's only confirming the bare bones of this story. Take a look. The scene is still very active. You can actually see them walking away right now from that press conference. They are saying a man is dead. Officers, at least 3 of them, did fire at him. They're mentioning 3 different scenes. One, a traffic stop over on Karen is where this all started. When this guy ran away from there, they did not pursue him. They're saying there's another scene over at the French Oaks Apartments where they found a guy that they wanted to question. That guy was not cooperating. They did say they pulled a taser on this guy, but that actually didn't work. Surprisingly, that didn't work, so they had to open fire. That is what they are saying. He was taken to the hospital, this victim in this case. That is where he passed away. That is the very latest we're getting from this press conference. They're saying this road could still be closed for a while as they're investigating. They've been out here all morning for hours. Reporting live, Parker Collins, Channel 13 Action News.
Thank you. Important to note that officers telling us the suspect did pull out a gun and they have recovered that weapon.
Yeah, good to know. Our team coverage continues with Action News reporter Yasmin Hassan. Now, she's at the Mulaski Family Park. It's right near the apartments where the officer-involved shooting happened, and she's been speaking with witnesses all morning long.
That's right. We are just a few feet away, and we've been talking to witnesses in this area, in this park, who are telling us a very similar story to what officers just confirmed a few minutes ago. I spoke to one woman out here, and she says she heard a lot of commotion right between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. And when she looked outside, she saw officers chasing a man, and then she saw them pull out a taser. And she says he looked like he had a lot of adrenaline running through his body because she heard shots being fired right after that. So she said that was not surprising because it didn't look like the taser was working. And again, officers do say that they recovered a firearm, so this man was armed. And we're going to work to bring you more details, talk to more witnesses in this area, and we'll bring that to you throughout the morning. Reporting live, Yasmin Hassan, Channel 13 Action News.
Yasmin, thank you. Our crews covering this story from all over, different angles on the ground. Stay with us online and on the air for all the very latest developments.
And we continue watching international breaking news. A Russian warplane shot down this morning in the skies above Turkey. A huge story, and Turkish officials say it was violating airspace and ignored repeated warnings. Meanwhile, Russia insists that was not the case. They say they were in Syria, so there's major tension right now between those two countries. Vladimir Putin speaking out, saying it was a huge blow, and NATO has called an emergency meeting. They will be holding that sometime today, so we'll have developments for you on later editions of Action News. Back to you in studio, Greg.
Jessica, thank you so much. We've got a warm day today, 69 degrees the high for Las Vegas, but it's going to come with winds. 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, gusts up to around 25-30 this afternoon, moving right on into the overnight. It's all thanks to a cold front on the way. Small chance for rainfall still to Las Vegas Wednesday night into your Thanksgiving morning, but even better chances for snow to the high elevations now. So something to look forward to. I think that'd be nice. A little bit of a white Thanksgiving there. Low 50s though, Thursday right on into the weekend, so bundle up. That's your forecast. Micah, to you.
Greg, thanks. Chopper 13 was first over the scene of this rollover. It's westbound DI just past Rainbow. You do have lane restrictions in effect, but traffic I've seen being able to move by it. To play it safe, you could always use Spring Mountain or even use Sahara instead. It'll clean up with that one. Let's go ahead and move elsewhere across the valley at the Spaghetti Bowl. You are seeing that slow and go traffic starting near Lake Mead on I-15 South. Your speeds dip down into only the 30s and the 20s until you're after Charleston. If you're going northbound, you're completely fine. And I am hearing reports of an injury crash on Cactus near Lindell. If you're heading off to I-15, you may just want to use Silverado Ranch instead.
All right, well, over 200 MGM employees are giving back to the community today by serving about 1,800 Thanksgiving meals to the homeless.
Workers from Excalibur and Luxor will be joining in with Catholic Charities and dishing out the meals from 12:30 to 3. This is the 25th year the hotels have been doing this, and we just want to say thank you to them for their service. Lots of meals like this will be happening this next week, and we're glad of that.
Definitely. You know, we see those big hotels and resorts on the Strip, but they do so much in the community.
It's so true. They really do.
Yes.
So the weather's going to be changing in a big way tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to just stay in and then stuff yourselves.
Yeah, I like it.
The
pre-Thanksgiving
stuff.
There you go.
Well, all right, update in just a little bit. Have a great day, everyone.